Hello and good evening. I will be giving my technical description of my vending machine. My vending machine's theme is a Japanese vending machine. So I will start off by listing the first specification is the main feature I have is a Japanese menu selection. I have 30 snacks and drinks going to be presented in the terminal console. So I have each one separated here in a dictionary, the products dictionary. So I have potato chips, Bucky, and candy as the snacks, 5 each, and then the hot drinks and cold drinks are separated in 2 categories with 8 and 7 drinks respectively. So from here, each dictionary uses in the dictionary, it uses key pair values to list out first the product number of the item, as well as the name and the price of the item. So here I've listed out each category with a comment just before it and the pricing, just to make it easier for me to read my code. So from here, I've also listed out the product categories. So this is where it lists the product numbers in groups with their respective categories. So these are lists. We have the chips, bulky candy, and hot drinks and cold drinks, and all of these equal to 30 items. From here we have the product pricing. So I've used here just variables to determine the price for each item, so that these are all fixed and set to one specific amount. And then from here we also have my stock. So the stock function just is a dictionary where each item has its own stock amount. So it's listed in this dictionary, and it has each item has 8 items or 8 of the same product in stock. Now moving on, we have my vending machine menu. So this has all the code for the user to be able to input and select a specific product on the menu. So I will start off with the while loop. So this creates the infinite loop for this code in the vending machine. And below it we have the first function I define, which is the show menu function. And it basically shows the vending machine menu and the categories with their prices and the stocks. So it has the print here for the introduction to the vending machine, and then it lists out the for loops and if else statements to list the product categories. So each one of these are divided by the 5 different categories I have for my vending machine, and it does the code and if else. So the stock, it shows the number of the stock, and if it is greater than 0, it will print out this specific code, which shows the amount of items in stock, as well as the product name and the value of the product. And then from there, the else just makes sure that if the product is below 0, it will change the text to say out of stock. Now this does it for all the other codes or all the other categories here. Then I have the show menu, which just calls this and opens this on or outputs this on the terminal. Then we have the next function I have here that I define is the user order. So it just asks the user for them to input payment. So this does an integer input via variable, and it inserts and it prints out. It explains next here is the while loop, which comes after, and this is for the product selection itself. Again, it's another integer, and it asks the user to enter the number of their product of choice, and then if order in products, so basically if the product number is in or is found in the products, then it will continue with the code, which is the next part here. But if not, it will tell the user that the input is unavailable and they should be entering a valid product number and to try again. So from here we have the product choices in stock. So if statement for the stocking and out of stock message. So if order in products, so this is what it answers with. So it will now change, well, I wrote a variable here which is product name, and it's basically the product, the one that the user chose, as well as the number. So now if the stock equals 0, so say the user ordered or chose a product with 0 stock, it will give a appropriate message where it tells them it's out of stock and for them to collect their money and try again, and ends the program there. But here I have for when they do choose a correct one and there is stock. So from here, if they chose or this is regardless whether or not the item is in stock, but it will tell them the item they chose, as well as the number and the name, and then from which category it is in. And this uses if and elif statements, or ELIF statements. From there we have the payment, which is if else statements. We use an if else statement that makes sure if the payment is greater or equal to the product's price. So this just verifies it using which uses a compound assignment operator, which basically simplifies the use of arithmetic operators here. And then from there, it obviously adjusts the stock amount and gives out the appropriate change, and also thanks the user. And then else, it will ask the user to input more money, and this is defined by the extra variable I've added here. And then it will combine the extra plus the payment they added before and adjusts it again to the price. If it's greater or equal to the price, then it will finally let them collect their item. Else, it will tell them that they need not enough money was inputted, and they cancel the transaction itself. Now from here, it asks for finally the last part of this vending machine I have. It asks if the user wishes to order again. So basically, whether they respond with yes or no, it will continue the loop again, and if they decide to input anything else other than yes or no, it will just give an invalid input and end the program. I will give a short demo here of how it works very quickly. And I will respond no, and it ends just like that. Thank you.